Hey guys, welcome to Impact Radio. I'm your host, Mark Lugo. Hey guys, welcome to Impact Radio. I'm excited to be with you guys. It gives us another opportunity to hang out, to spend at least some 28 minutes. It's not a lot of your day, but whatever you get to listen to today, I want you to just engage and just kind of tune in to our guests today, because they have a lot of important information to share, a lot of information where it shows problem and solution. So first of all, we want to give God all the honor and glory for waking us up today, and it's another day to let our light shine. And we want our light shine in all the seven mountains of influence in our culture. Just go to somebody, when you go to the coffee shop, when you go to the restaurant, when you're pumping gas, getting groceries, wherever you're at, start a conversation with people. So many people they have this heavy weight on them, all the responsibilities of life. You don't know what they're going to. Smile. Just give them something encouraging. It could take 30 seconds. Just make people smile, bring that joy, that the love of God in that atmosphere, to be able to, just to change that culture in just that moment, those moments in life that let's not take them for granted, but let's show the love of God, the joy of the Lord everywhere we go. And I'm just thinking here, I've been looking at some of the videos that have been coming out, and if my hands were tied behind my back, I would not be able to speak, so I use my hands a lot, all right, but my arms a lot. But we have some amazing guests today on Impact Radio, and that's Sylvia Soto. Welcome to Impact Radio.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And D'Amber Love, a friend of mine. She's been, we're James Barnes connected to us, and she's a fighter. Yeah, she's got a lot of, what is it? You got a lot of drive in you. Like, hey, this is injustice going on, and we need to bring justice to this. We need to bring some attention to this. So I love that about you, and I know it's going to be an awesome show having both of you here.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Definitely. So we have several topics to talk about in about 20 minutes of time here. So, let's talk about, let's reflect on one. We just recently had, 9/11, take place, where, the anniversary of it. What year of anniversary are we on? Or if we don't know, it's okay. I might be asking a tough question on that, but it was yesterday. So it's regarding safety. So would any of y'all like to address that with us this morning?
I think that safety is very important within our community. We've seen an increase in violence and crime throughout, especially through our city, and supporting our police, supporting our law enforcement is vital to our community, because we want to make sure that the citizens of the city and also of our country are safe, because it is our home. And our home should always be a place that we can go and feel safe and feel at peace. And that's the type of society that we need to have. So safety is very, very important. And we have to support the agencies and the first responders and, our law enforcement, our army, our police officers, our firefighters, every single person that gives their lives every single day to protect us and to help us. And we are so grateful. I know I am grateful, and everyone's so grateful. We thank them for all their service, because they serve every single day, and they do a wonderful job. So we're so grateful for them, and we have to continue to support them because they're the ones that are doing this job, and safety is important within our community.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that one of the issues that we're dealing with right now with the school districts is, even university level, is the Marxism. It's teaching the Marxism and just to rally against authority, to bump heads with authority and not support, our police officers, our sheriffs, our, just all of our first responders. And so this is something that we're combating at one level and saying, hey, that's not America. That's not our nation. We honor, we respect those in authority, right? And especially our first responders. So definitely. What are some things, so what area, you're running for District of 124. So what area are you covering? What is that? I know the borders can be kind of hey, this corner is here and there, but I know it's not a square, but it's kind of an odd shape. But what is the coverage of your area?
Yes, so District 124 starts at Zarzamora and Highway 90
Okay.
all the way down to 90 and 1604. And then it goes all the way up to Northwest Vista College SeaWorld area. So it
Mm-hmm.
kind of cuts off in the Tesla area, but it goes all the way up there. And it's kind of like a triangle shape. So that's the height of it, but then it triangles in towards Zarzamora. So it encompasses Lackland Air Force Base.
Okay.
It also has Kennedy High School in the Thompson area, the West Side, Castroville, San Fernando Cemetery,
Yeah.
John Jay High School, all that west side of San Antonio inside 1604.
Yeah, definitely. So, regarding safety, right? We're on the topic of safety. So, what are some safety issues are you seeing that are a problem, and what do you bring as far as solutions to those problems?
Yeah, so if you recall, just a couple of weeks ago, we had a drive-by shooting
Hmm.
at Lackland Air Force Base.
Hmm. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so twice in one day there was a drive-by shooting. That's where the violence has escalated in District 124, where our military bases aren't even safe.
Hmm.
And so the violence in this area is very high. It encompasses the zip code in the one of the zip codes in the city that's the least funded and in regards to it's one of the poorest districts.
Hmm.
And so, and it's been like that for many, many years. And so there's a lot of crime there, extreme homelessness because there's a lot of poverty.
Yep.
And so we have a lot of people that are in the streets underneath the bridge. If you go by Marbach, there's tons of people under there. And it's so sad to see. It hurts my heart. I mean, we go out there, we try to help them and give them food and water and, whatever resources we can give them, especially with the church. I'm also a lay lector at the Misión San Jose, community helper, and I've been volunteering my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Also with St. Vincent de Paul Society, and we see them coming in. And I've talked to them because I love to go out to the community. I was born on the west side, grew up on the south side, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to the area, and I know the people, and I talk to them. And it's not just because of a certain situation. There's different reasons. There's people that are there because of the inflation.
Mm-hmm.
They lost their jobs because there's a lot of closures with a lot of businesses, especially small businesses. So
Yeah.
they lost their jobs.
Yeah.
There's also inflation in regards to housing. It's very expensive. They couldn't afford to pay the housing anymore. And so
Right.
they're looking for an opportunity. They're looking for an opportunity to get a job and to get back in the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the issue of a lot of drugs within the community. One gentleman told me one time, he's like, it's they do drugs, yes, but it's because they're just trying to make it to another day living on the
Mm-hmm.
streets
Mm-hmm.
with the violence. So again, it's addressing the mental health issues and the economic issues that we have. So in
Right.
regards to your question of what we can do is that we have to reduce taxes. We got to put more money into the pockets of our citizens because they don't have the money to go out and spend at the small businesses. And so we need to bring
Mm-hmm.
up our economy. We have to focus on education. I am a teacher, so we have to focus on that because education is our future. That gives people the opportunity to get a job
Mm-hmm.
and to make income and to live in a community where they're actually making money. So education has to be something that we have to focus on. And that's, as a teacher, I have experience to help with that. And I have many
Yeah.
ideas that I can share with you in regards to that. Mental health, we have to
Mm-hmm.
have more counselors at our schools, but also more counselors or medical services available
Mm-hmm.
for the people that are out in the streets that have mental issues.
Well, speaking of people out in the streets, I mean to interrupt you, but that Marbach and
Hmm.
410 area, I mean, I lived on cable like 15, I lived in Rainbow Hills community,
Uh-huh.
about 15 years ago. Now, it was nothing like it is today. And
Exactly.
so, what happened to Marbach where it became a hub for homelessness?
So again, that whole area on the west side is one of the poorest in the whole nation. Actually, we had
Hmm.
a Harvard professor come out actually to the Thompson Place
Hmm.
HOA meeting, and
Which is
he
Edgewood ISD district too.
exactly,
Hmm.
and he came out and said this is one of the poorest zip codes in the whole nation. Like
Wow.
that's how poor this section is, and people were surprised to hear that. But he came with his statistics. He was born on the west side, went to Harvard, came back, and wanted to talk to the community about what can we do to revitalize this area? Because why is this continuing to happen?
Hmm.
And to answer your question again, it's because of the poverty. There's a lot of businesses leaving. There's a lot of crime that's happening. So even when I go like to a taqueria and I talk to the business owners, they're like,
Hmm.
a lot of people don't come because they're afraid to go outside.
Yeah.
People are afraid to walk their dogs outside their own home now.
Well, I don't know if you saw the news on this, but right there on Penn Road,
Mm-hmm.
there's that the Boyos Asados place. They had
Yes.
the cocaine bust, and there was a
Yes.
dealer. I mean, it's in the
Mm-hmm.
midst of our communities, especially the district you cover. So, I mean, you have a lot of work on your hands, going into, if it be God's will and people go out and vote to
Yes.
vote you in. So you have a lot on your plate to start cleaning up, but it can be done.
Absolutely.
And so,
And
D'Amber,
honestly, I
you have.
don't think anything has been done.
Hmm.
There's no initiatives. When I go out and I ask people, what have you seen different? Nothing has been done.
Yeah.
And so doing something and starting with helping our homeless, helping with the mental health issues, supporting our police,
Hmm.
supporting our small businesses by reducing those taxes and alleviating property taxes for seniors 65 and over is
Yeah.
going to bring more money in the pockets of the citizens, bring
Hmm.
back more business, and bring back the West Side.
Yeah, most definitely. Those are very good, valid points on that. D'Amber, school safety. Talk to us about school safety, and I know that you've been personally impacted by this. So what's going on there?
Yes, so I just want to highlight that I do live in your district. So we actually moved from Helotes to there, me and my fiance, and I can tell you that the things that I've seen in the past year and being connected into the schools now that I have children in different levels,
Hmm.
safety has been quite at the top. And how can I say this? With the recent Uvalde
Mm-hmm.
tragedy now
Hmm.
to Georgia,
Yeah.
and then within our area,
Hmm.
NISD, with the Stevens High School, the guy coming on campus with a gun,
Right.
shootings. Um, I think that all of this money that they say that they're putting out into different categories, I just don't see it in regards to safety. I mean, this morning, my daughter's school, the
Hmm.
doors are open, wide open. Parents are walking in, and they put policies in place, but are we following them? And
Right.
I think to this day it applies to everything, that there's things in place and people aren't following them, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in
Hmm.
as a community. And then we have, like she said, supporting our law enforcement and reducing taxes to give back, and then also giving it to the resources like the police,
Hmm.
because my daughter's school, again, they don't have a policeman,
They
and
don't.
no, they do not.
That's strange. I
And
thought they
yes,
all had a police officer.
well, you would think right after Uvalde things would be sealed tight, but
Wow.
that has not been the case. And there was a House bill that was just passed, House Bill 3, after Uvalde, and every school is supposed to have one police officer, security
Wow.
officer. So that's in discussion right now. And in regards to again, back to the safety, uh, people just walking in, there's no verification of ID, no log,
Hmm.
no check-in.
Hmm.
So that's a concern given the recent security threats throughout our nation, not
Right.
just here. So that's something that I'm advocating for. And again, right, not just talking about it, but what are we going to do about it?
Hmm.
And I think that also plays into changing policy
Hmm.
and getting those who are elected to come together also with the community to make this change and have parents starting to speak up like I am.
So you're speaking up, but are you like picketing outside the schools and making a lot of noise? I know the answer to this, but I want you to share with our audience here,
Yes.
just right in front. Just tell them, how could they get involved with you? How could they advocate like you're doing?
Well, there's school board meetings. You can also email me. We'll put that
You
on the
can
video.
give the email out
Um,
too if you want.
my email is D'Amber. It's my first name, Deam as in Mary, B as in boy, ERLN as in Nancy at yahoo.com. You can reach me there if you want to help support the community and advocating for our children, because our children are the most important. And without those things in place, like she said, people don't even want to even come out their house.
Yeah.
Well, why should we go put our children's in the school when they're not secure? And we need to have those things in place.
So a possible reason why they don't have a police officer is because of school funding. These last couple of years, they haven't been able to pass school funding for schools, teacher pay raises, and the necessary money that the schools need. Inflation has taken over every industry, including schools. And so they have to function on the limited funds that they have. 15 schools this last year alone in SAISD were closed, in addition to 2 in Edgewood.
Yeah.
Parents could have a school right across the street, and I've talked to them, and they don't have a car, and they're like, how am I going to take my child to school? I used to walk them across the street, but the school's closed. This last year, I don't know if your audience knows, but parents were just shuffling, trying to figure out what school, what's best for them, where do I take them, separated from their lifelong friends and teachers. I had a friend of mine, personal friend, who was at an A campus by TEA standards in SAISD. They did protest, like you're saying, teachers, parents, they still closed it.
Yeah.
It was part of the plan. So again, in regards to what D'Amber's saying, we need more officers, but at the same time, we need the funding to be able to pay for that. I don't know if that's the reason in her particular school, but it is required for for them to have that. But that could be a possible reason, because we need that money to go to our schools.
No, for sure, for sure. Now, there's a process to go to the school districts to bring about change. What are some of the things you've been doing, D'Amber, to do that?
Well, if parents don't know, and I say this, always have it in writing, because verbal, it's hearsay.
Yeah.
If you put it in an email, or if you even handwrite a letter. I remember my mom writing letters to the school, and here you go. This is what my mom said. But just putting that down, there's different levels of complaints. I felt in this particular situation, I wasn't going to start level 1, 2, 3. This needed to go over. And so I went to the school board and I spoke recently in regards to this, because safety is important.
Absolutely.
And children deserve that secure environment, and they should be able to have that positive, supportive environment. So I think that's key. And again, just going to your school's website, looking to see the emails and resources on that to contact them to raise awareness. But then also, social media has groups where you can enter for different school districts, and just talking to parents and speaking up. I know it's hard, because you're like, well, what if I say something wrong, or what are the rules? There's no rules when it comes to kids. I feel like you need to advocate for them and their safety and their well-being, because that's what parents are for.
Yeah, and I've been to school board meetings as well, and you got to get there early. And it's not crazy early. It's the meeting's at 6. You got to be there between, like, let's say 4:30 and 5:30, and you got to sign in for public comment, and then they'll give you 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the district. And so you got to have your elevator speech ready, right?
Yes.
So, and on the issue, your concern of the problems, and just advocate it before the school board. Sometimes it could be intimidating. Sometimes it feels like you do that, and your voice is not being heard. So if we go together, if we're 10, 20, 30, 40 parents, and spiritual leaders, I mean, it's going to get your pastor involved. When you get leaders involved, when you get parents involved, working together, a father and a mother, the men and women, together, the voice together, they're going to listen to you. They have no other choice, because let me tell you, the school board are elected officials. You can vote them in and you can vote them out. Okay? And the school board hires the superintendent. So the superintendent works for the school board, and the school board works for us, for parents. So we got to be a voice out. We got to advocate for the next generation, to be able to bring awareness to these different problems and work together. It's not school has to solve all the problems. Government has to solve all the problems. No, it's community. They have our kids. We got to be involved somehow. They can't just shut us out completely.
And that's why I agree with you. We have to vote the right leaders for the right position to make the right decision.
Yep, for
so
sure.
when they don't, and we don't see that they're advocating for us, we have to go out and vote for those that will.
Yes.
And that's the important thing, is to put leaders that will help the community, that show a track record by facts and figures and action
Yeah.
that they're actually doing something. It's
That's
very
right.
easy to just do a couple of lines here and there, a voice op or something that you're just going to make a speech, but it's actions that actually tell you what the person is actually doing. And so when we don't see anything and we go out every day and we can see for ourselves, our price is high. Is gas high?
Yeah.
Is there a lot of traffic in our streets?
Exactly.
Is there an increase in homelessness? We see this, we experience it. And whether the media is or isn't telling us what they want to tell us, we have to have the gift of discernment and know what we see ourselves and what we experience every day and pick the right leaders that are going to make the changes that we need for our community and keep the leaders, which there are always great, wonderful leaders that are doing something for us. But voting is vital
Yeah.
because leadership is key.
And I just want to tune in on that because, in the state that we are right now in the country, when we speak in leadership, for example, the presidential candidates, Kamala Harris has said in a video that she wants to take police out of all schools. That is a huge concern.
Wow.
And it's like she wants security. They want security in the White House, but our children don't deserve, officers.
That's
And
contradictory.
I raise that concern and question to viewers out there and to look it up because it is there and she's in a video saying that. So that's a huge concern if she was to become elected. What is going to happen in our schools? And that's a question I have as a parent. And honestly, it's getting to a point where parents like myself want to withdraw their children and just homeschool them.
Yeah.
And then we go back to that race there. So
I think my personal opinion on that too is that if I believe that people are ready for change. People they want something new. You know what I mean? That's been going on. The same old, same old. It's time for. It's almost like there is a reformation happening across our nation, right? With a lot of different, like I talk about the seven mountains of influence society. There's a lot changing. In our world, but I'm just trying to. What I'm trying to say is that I believe that regarding the educational system, there is major reformation coming, and it's already happening with school closures. And I believe that if this is my personal opinion as a spiritual leader, is that if school districts don't allow God into their school, they'll let you do a program out before school and after school. But I'm talking about during the day, the meat of the day. If they do not allow us to go in, they don't allow God to go in, letting prayer back in school, letting Bible study happen, lunchtime, whatever it is, let God back in school. I believe that we're gonna be seeing more closures because parents are rising up saying they want that. Parents want prayer. Parents want safety. Parents want spiritual guidance in school. There's a lot of things. They want the pervasively vulgar and explicitly sexually explicit books out of our schools. There's a lot of changes that we're asking our superintendents and our school boards to change and to get rid of. Allow chaplains. There's a chaplain bill as well. We want representation of the gospel into our schools the right way with vetted people. It's not just anybody. It's a vetted, well processed, a process system, and we advocate for that leader to get into the school.
Yes.
We want to be involved. We don't want to be shut out anymore. So if that doesn't happen, then when school choice passes with a new session opening up in January next year, schools are going to be facing some major decisions, and they're not going to have. We're talking about money for safety and everything. They're not going to have much of a budget. With a lot of a lot of kids going to charter school. I think a lot of parents are going to pick homeschool.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of
actually
parents are going to pick Christian school.
Homeschool has been the increase actually. A lot of parents just taking their children out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Schools focus on their attendance rates, and attendance rates equals funding.
Yes.
But at the end of it, what are we actually giving to the students and the staff too? Because they're teaching and they're in that classroom with 24 kids, and they have disabilities, and it's a lot. And what are we doing to help everybody as a whole? And that's what I'm passionate about, because I have children with disabilities too, and I see how it's working out. And I'm sure she has too, because she's a teacher. So we
And
just,
yeah, and I know that. I mean, it's like, I mean, it's school districts are doing a lot to get attendance up. I mean, one district I know that they're giving gift cards, like I think it's groceries or gas gift cards, something like that. I mean, they're scrambling, to
yes,
get creative. And if hey, your child has what is it, a 98% attendance, they're gonna get a gift card
there's
to,
something there.
so they're trying their best to get attendance up because the budget it's crunch time for the budget. And I want to say this too, because I'm not anti superintendent, I'm not anti school board, I'm not anti teacher, anti anything against any of. I respect our leaders. What I'm trying to advocate for is like there's certain things that the schools need to clean up. They need to clean up the books, get them out. They need to allow chaplains to come in, and they need to be able to hear us, listen to us, because we're involved in it. We shouldn't be left out. And that's one thing that I advocate. And I know that there's a lot of superintendent school boards that are doing a fantastic job, and I just want that to be known. There's people doing, you mentioned it too, there's people doing a great job out there. A lot of times they just need our support, they need our engagement. School boards need us to get involved. Government officials, running for office or in office, they need the church's support. Guys, we're running close to about an hour, excuse me, a minute, our 2 minute warning. So Miss Sylvia Soto, if you can look at that camera and tell people, why should they vote for you this coming election?
Yes, thank you for your time and thank you for attending this event and hearing us here. The reason that I'm running for this district 124 is because we need change. Our schools are closing, there's an increase in crime, and there's a lot of homeless people within our community. And as Christians, I'm also a lay lector at Misión San Jose. It is something that is dear to my heart, something that I really want to do, that I've been doing my whole entire life. The reason that gets me up every day is because of service. As a leader, as someone within the community that can do something, I want to be able to do something to help the community that I see every day, my friends and family, and my community is important to me. And so I have the experience. I'm a teacher. I also have a degree in business as well as a degree in bilingual education. And I know that our children need change today for our future. So I ask for your support. I ask for your vote. Sylvia Soto for State Representative 124. I have the experience, I have the heart, and I have the ability to create change and make a difference in your district 124.
Love it. Awesome. D'Amber Love, Sylvia Soto, thank you so much for being on
Thank
Impact
you.
Radio. That's all of our time today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Share, share, share. All right. Until next time, carry on. Hey, guys, welcome to Impact Radio. I'm your host, Mark Lugo.